Week 13 walking, 12th to the 18th of July 2024. What is pleasant? And other useless questions. Distance walked, 53.9 miles. Duration walked, 17 hours, 55 minutes and 30 seconds. The week started with Anna-Lena's birthday, so I waited until later in the day before walking. Getting out just before 4 p.m, I walked to Dormelletto and out and back to Arona via the Corso Coma and the lakeside paths. There was a Great Crested Grebe adult accompanying two juveniles in Lake Maggiore. I watched as the adult dived below the surface and caught a fish, slim around 4 inches long, before feeding it to one of the juveniles. It was teaching and feeding them well. I stopped at the supermarket on the way back to collect some final goodies for Anna-Lena's birthday. What is pleasant? It was cooler today at 27 Celsius and it was raining, although still very pleasant. I'm not sure I would ever put raining and pleasant together in the same sentence when talking about walking in the Scottish Highlands, but this is northern Italy, so I think it's okay. The final line in my diary from day one is another day of just getting on with the walking in the heat. Day 2, and we move from Lake Maggiore to Livorno on the Mediterranean coast, and I forget to walk. We get settled in and sorted out our new place, and I took a shower. Only then did I remember that I needed to walk. 1.2 miles starting at 7:19 p.m, out and back from the campsite. Being on the coast facing west, the sunsets are amazing. We could see the island of Elba, and if it was clearer we would be able to spot Corsica, hopefully later in the week. Pattern setting. Most of our holidays follow a similar pattern where the day after travelling we chill and stay local to where we are. I fit in my walking into this pattern so that when Ingrid and the kids are chilling, I don't. Instead, I get a long walk in. With temperatures of between 30 and 32 Celsius, I started walking at 2:13 p.m, and I knew by the end of it I'd pushed a little too far. I was well covered with long sleeves, trousers and a wide-brimmed hat and buff, but after more than 5.5 hours of walking, I was hot, and not in a good way. I carried a lot of water, replenished at public fountains en route and urinated during the walk, but still I felt sick that night and had the sweats. The walk itself was simple out and back, repeated into Livorno, and it was a lovely walk. Almost all of it was on the coast or heading past places like the Italian Naval Academy. Sightseeing was the order of the day for day 4, and we headed to Pisa. I got out for a much cooler 4-mile walk before heading to Pisa, and I captured 5 miles of walking around Pisa. Starting at the Pisa Centrale train station, we headed north into the town, through the city, across the river as we wound our way around to the tower. It seemed like there was a beautiful old church on every corner and piazzas everywhere. However, at over 37 Celsius, we needed to make the most of the shade in the built-up areas to stay cool. Ice creams and cold drinks also helped immensely. Let it go. Day 5 provided an excellent reminder of channeling my inner Elsa to let it go. I'd been trying to quieten my mind and so focused on my breathing to relax, breathing in for between 2 and 4 strides before breathing out for the same number of strides. But it wasn't working. I was unable to achieve stillness of mind. The universe answered, and I remembered how I was back in 2001 when I visited the west coast of the USA on my own. Just walking and relaxing, I was 100% chilled. I let go of my breath and it worked. As with most things, by letting go, you actually achieve more. I was out early on day 6, completing a 10-miler before 9 a.m. And there were loads of people out walking and running on the seafront around Livorno. With less sun and cooler temperatures around 25 Celsius, this made much sense. My diary for the day finishes with, "It be like London for the number of people who don't chat with you, make eye contact and say hello." 3.2 miles of day 7 and the week is complete. End of week reflections. I'm now a quarter of the way through this year-long challenge, and it's a tale of two challenges. The walking's going as well as I could hope for and plan for, walking in Grandtown, London, Berlin and Italy, as well as a number of airports. However, the total for fundraising is only £951, which is disappointing, and I just need to keep at it. It's a great reminder that whilst I can control my walking, I cannot control how much people donate.